Welcome to another Zoom episode of the EDS Engineering Chats. And this is the first time we've got to do these, as I've mentioned on previous Zoom episode. And my next guest has the most marvelous name. I mean, that's all I can say about it, really. I've just been checking with him that I pronounce it properly, so I hope I get this right. But I'm delighted to be joined by Dr Davide Di Palma. Is that right, Davide?
That's perfect, Coco. That's perfect. Thank you. Good morning,
Coco
everyone.
is much easier. Coco is much easier.
Indeed.
And you have an impressive resume. You hold an international PhD in RF communications from the University of Florence. I love Florence. And Colorado. Never been to Colorado. And discussed thesis on wireless sensor networks.
Yes.
So that's where it all started for you, was it? Is that how it all began?
Yeah, actually, yes. It all started there in Florence, and then with the international PhD and in a startup environment. But I'll let you lead. So.
Well, I mean, it's very interesting here because obviously we've got some information about that your career, in IoT started working like on the European framework program. And that was like 7 years of doing that, various roles, including being a board member. But then after 7 years in General Electric, you're now the executive engineering and projects director in HWM Water, a Halma company. Talk to me a bit about that. What is that? What is that?
Yes. Okay, so you're right. It started there, and I'm really happy that it started there, and it's continuing now in HWM. So. Just a bit of a background back in the days when why it's called wireless sensor network, because at that time IoT, no one knew what it was. It was still called, we were still thinking about putting together some sensor that could connect remotely to a server and then show data remotely to a customer. That was all about the PhD and then my work in the startup a few years later. And now in HWM, these sort of research and development has come through because HWM is a leader in IoT networks for water companies. And I lead a team since 4 years now in HWM that provides the full end-to-end solution for IoT. So my team has electronic, mechanical design, but we also do a lot of in software, so firmware, cloud, mobile app development, and then we have obviously product managers, system engineers, and design assurance. So we have a full blend of all the different disciplines that are needed to develop these systems for our customers.
And you talk about connected to AI solutions. That's a big deal, right? That's your speaking session at the EDS show, which obviously is 10th, 11th of October. Do you know your time yet? I like asking people. Do you know when you're?
I think it's around 1:30. Yeah, I wasn't prepared. I think it's 1:30 the first day. Yes.
1:30 on the 10th of October. You can come and see this lovely gentleman in the flesh talking about from smart sensors to AI. I mean, the new frontier for IoT applications. I love that. Talk to me a bit more about that.
Yeah, I think when I was thinking about, and by the way, thanks for the opportunity because it's great to be there and be invited to speak there. But when I was thinking about the message or the outcome I want from this presentation is mainly to trigger a conversation, and inspire conversation regarding how we can better integrate and get the most between AI and IoT solutions. Because while AI is becoming part of the daily job or the daily activities in many industries now, it's very well advanced in the integration and the potential that it can give us through the integration with IoT is still in early days. That's my opinion. This is what I want to challenge in that meeting, because I'm sure there will be colleagues, there will be people, potential customers present, which might have a different view. So I'm really keen as an outcome to start a conversation, not just in the Q&A session, but even afterwards, and expand the network and start having a share of the ideas of how AI can improve what we already provide our customers with IoT devices. Because the problem nowadays is that IoT is massive. We have hundreds, thousands, millions of devices connected all over the world. So the amount of information is huge. Now, the next challenge is how do we make sense of this information as humans? So that's the key outcome I want to achieve.
How do we make sense of it, Davide?
Well,
how do we make sense of it? How do
I think you need to attend the session to get the answer to that. I'm not going to give it up now.
I mean, that is really it. That is really it, isn't it? People need to understand, because it's as you've said perfectly. We are now entering the second part of a revolution. We've had 2 decades of quite different. It's all changed, and the speed and the acceleration of that change is massive. And why is it so important that we make sense of this? Why is it so crucial to the humans?
We are in an unprecedented time where we have a huge amount of information around us, or at least a huge amount of data, right? Now, we need to be able to summarize this data into insightful insights or informative insights, and so we can take the right decisions. I take an example for our customers, for the water companies which we work with. They have massive amount of data coming into their way on a daily basis, and based on this data, they have to decide which areas to prioritize in terms for their maintenance teams, for leak detection, and say, well, we have a leak in this road. Do we go in this road? Do we go in another road because it's more important than a leak? Or we have a spill, a wastewater spill. So where do we need to focus my attention? Because every spill is important, or every leak is important, but some can be more important than others due to the criticality, the severity, or to the specific damage they can do to the environment. So AI can help driving these decisions into the right directions and summarizing for us humans the information that we're receiving from all the different sensors that are deployed everywhere now.
Which is so important, isn't it? And it's great that we have a platform like the Engineering Design Show, where actually we can come and listen to experts like yourself talk about this information, because it's great to be able to get everyone together and really talk about these important subjects, isn't it?
And in every scientific and technological advancement, it's always important to put minds together, because being isolated is not the right way to progress. We need to talk together, we need to challenge ourselves, and we need to share opinions to see where is the right path to go. So I'm really looking forward to it.
I'm excited, and I'm excited that you know what time you're on. This is progress, because one of our guests hadn't even had his time slot. So you must be very important, Dr. Davide, is what I'm going to say. But I mean, is there anything else you'd like to add? I mean, I would just invite everyone to come and see you talk about this, because I think it's fascinating, and I also think it is, like you say, I mean, just the fact that there is so much data out there now. My children don't believe me. They're 13 and 11. They don't believe me that when I was their age, I didn't have a mobile phone or a laptop. I mean, they're just like, what? Obviously, I'm only 21, David, but you know.
Yes, and me too.
Yeah.
And well, what I would say, again, it will come out from the presentation, but obviously my focus, I'm working in HWM. We very care about water preservation.
Yes.
And we care about the environment, and we want to help our customers preserving their water. So we're talking about the water that comes into our taps every day in our houses. And we're talking about, I'm sure you've been seen on the news, all these spillages of wastewater into the rivers, into the sea. And with our products, we help our customers detect the spillages and stop the spillages quickly. So it's all about one hoping to get in that session is also to have people that can come to me and say, look, I know you have lots of data. I know you design in HWM, you design sensors, you design loggers that stay there for years and help the customer gathering data, but also have algorithms. I have experience, or I have been in working in water companies where I've seen these things happening, and I can help you out understand how we can improve our offer for our customers. And again, it's debate, it's a scientific debate. So it's any suggestion would be more than welcome, because again, you never know where it brings you to.
It must be very fascinating and a satisfying occupation that you have, and frustrating at times, I imagine.
Well, more than frustrating is always a challenge. You never know
Of course, yeah,
what will happen in your day. But it's fascinating because we are focused on solving an important problem. Again, we are.
yeah,
I want to stress a lot or enough, but it's about water. It's about preserving what we use every day, and coming in the office every day, starting to think about what is the solution, the best solution to make sure that we preserve more water for the customer. So is it a new logger? Is it a new feature? Is it a new algorithm that through AI can be implemented? That's what really brings us forward. And when it comes to HWM, I was thinking about the fact that we've been in this market for 40 plus years. So we literally
wow.
started, not myself, but HWM is a brand. And we started literally with devices that were handheld and brought onto the street to listen to the leaks. And now we also have them, obviously in a newer version, but we have also loggers that are permanently deployed, stay there for more than 5 years, single battery, never change, and in a very harsh environment. I was thinking, I'm sure, well, our data are sent through a mobile connection. And I was thinking this morning, I'm sure you have tried sometimes to make a phone call from a
Mm,
basement. What was the experience? I think was quite difficult to make a
yeah,
phone call through. And this is what our loggers have to do every day because they are in an inspection chamber in a very difficult environment from a radio frequency perspective. And nevertheless, they call in, they send the data, and based on this data, the water companies they rely upon this data to plan their activities on a daily basis and set up this big machine, which is, think about, I don't know, a city like London or a city
yeah,
like Bristol or New York, and they have to make sure that the water is delivered everywhere and we don't waste it, and they have to prioritize their operations for it. And thinking that they do that based on the data we provide them, it's definitely um, a reason for pride, but there's
mm,
also a reason for to be a bit. I mean, we are on our toes because if
yes.
something fails, there's a huge domino effect, and this
Well,
is
yes,
why
massive impact. You could have
there's a
massive
massive
impact.
impact. And this is
Yeah,
why our experience, our due diligence when we do the design, just to tell you, when we do our design and development, we use the same design processes that are used in aviation and oil and gas, so safety critical elements.
wow,
When we do our validation of our products, we benchmark our testing from automotive because we want our loggers to remain in the field and be capable of remaining in the field for years.
yeah,
And and then it comes our customer support through our sales team, through our customer support team. We're always there to support customers whenever they have a question, whenever something goes wrong. And that it's all behind the loggers we sell. It's not just the logger, it's not just the technology, it's all about caring about the customer, caring about the aim we want to achieve in saving water.
wow, wow. I wasn't expecting all of that, to be
Right,
fair.
okay.
And that if that's what I get in a 15-minute chat with you, I think everyone needs to get themselves to the engineering design show, don't you? To see you
Yeah, looking forward to see them.
on the 10th at 1:30 p.m. Yeah, it's been a real pleasure to talk to you. It's fascinating. I work in sort of both sides of the world, like B2B, B2C2B, and it's always a fascinating, it's just, yeah, I just find it fascinating listening to people. So I shall definitely listen to you. You'll see me. I'm very, very, you don't really notice me at shows, so I'm sure you'll see me walking around. But it's a really important message, and it's a really important job. Thank you for what you do. Thank you very much. I mean, it's crucial, especially now more than ever, and a huge impact. We had a incident recently, local to where I live, where there was no water to anywhere. It's just, we could go on a long time, but like we said, we're saving the gold for the show. We're going
Yes.
to save the gold for the
Thanks.
show.
Yes.
I thank you for coming along and being our guest on these Zoom episodes. And yeah, I would say to everyone, I think a lot of people are coming to listen to you. and ask you some questions.
Definitely. Thanks a lot for this opportunity. Nice to meet you. And yeah, looking forward to see you and everyone else at EDS in a few weeks now.
You will, yeah. I know it's not long to go, not long to go at all. And thanks to Oriental Motor UK who've sponsored this episode so that we can bring this out before, so we can get people along, because we need people to get along to the show and come and spread the word. Because I don't think I know anyone that's gone to an exhibition, and certainly the ones that we've done with, over the past 3 years now that we've worked with the Engineering Chat, where they haven't learned something or taken away something positive. And I'm sure that they'll do that if they listen to you chat. They, I'm feeling positive after talking to you this morning, Doctor. So thank you.
Okay. Thank you. Nice meeting you, Coco.
Nice to meet you too. Have a wonderful rest of the day. Thank you.